Hey there. I thought that before we said goodbye to Resident Evil 7 for good, that there is one more thing we should take a look at, because we've seen the whole game, we've seen the DLC, but there is one last thing that we haven't seen, and really the last thing is the first thing that Capcom ever showed about Resident Evil 7. Before it was even known that this was Resident Evil 7, they showed a tech demo for PSVR called The Kitchen, which is what we're seeing right now. You should recognize the environment we're in. And hey, look, it's Pete down there. Remember him? It's from the demo. We're looking at our body, and we are Clancy. I am moving my head around, so I'm sorry if my voice gets a little bit faint as I move away from the microphone. I'm trying to sit as close to the position as Clancy is. He's sort of like lying back in a chair, so that's what I'm trying to do. And I position the microphone close enough to me without it getting in the way, so hopefully you're able to hear this fine. So, The Kitchen. When Capcom showed this, they did it as a demo for PSVR. They showed it at Expos, but they didn't say what it was. It was just this horror demo that they were showing for the new hardware. And it wasn't until Resident Evil 7 was announced that it was found that that The Kitchen was using the RE7 engine, and that the settings and the characters here were going to be used in the game. So, this is going to be a short little thing from what I understand, and there's not really any interaction in it. It's just a short little horror experience. It was released to the public when PSVR first came out. It came on the demo disc. So we're going to take a look at this. Like I said, last thing we're taking a look at for Resident Evil 7 is the first thing that was shown. Let's start the game and just experience the feeling of Clancy being tied up in the kitchen. Kitchen! There we go. My hands are like now in front of me. Capcom Limited 2016. Well, as we saw, we can just look all around us. In a very familiar kitchen. Oh, I should look this way? The DualShock should go this way? What should I do with the DualShock? What does that mean? What does that mean? Should I sit up? Okay, yes. Clancy. Okay, yes, my body is sitting up. Pete, how you doing? Doing okay over there, Pete?
Clancy.
Yeah.
What happened? Where the hell are we?
No, we're good.
Shit.
Yeah? You're not looking too good, Pete. He's got the knife. Yep. Come on, untie these things. Get them off my wrists. Oh, you knocked that over. All right. Yep.
Your hands. Keep still.
I mean, they're just like plastic ties. It can't be that tough. Butterfingers, Pete.
We gotta get the hell out of here.
No kidding. Uh-oh. Who's that coming up behind?
Come on.
Oh, Pete, I got your blood on my goggles. Hey, Mia. Oh, Mia. I can't heal myself. I don't have any heal juice. Oh, here comes Pete. I'm sorry, Pete. I don't think you're going to be any match for her. She's surprisingly strong. I guess Mia wanted to do that in private, away from my prying eyes. Oh. Well, I guess that's what happened to Pete. I hear her walking around. Oh, there's my shoulder. What's my shoulder doing right there? My shoulder's way up too high. I don't see anything. But I hear her walking all around. Oh, there you are. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there she is. Well, I guess that's the end of it. Not a long thing. Thank you for playing. The nightmare has just begun. So, this was, again, the first thing that they showed for Resident Evil 7 before it was even known that it was Resident Evil 7. Is the microphone? Okay, yes. I'm reaching out to grab the microphone. It is in front of me. I hope, well, I guess I can't say I hope my neck wasn't wobbling too much because that's really hard to do with the VRs. So I guess this sort of fills in a little bit as to what happened to the characters from the demo. We know what happened to Andre, of course, in the demo because we saw the tape of him being killed. But Clancy and Pete, we don't really know what happened to them after they were attacked by my mind's completely blanking. Clearly from the horror that we just experienced. They were attacked. So I guess after being attacked, they were taken to the kitchen and tied up, and then Phil woke up, tried to get Clancy free, was killed by Mia, and then Clancy was injured by Mia, and then probably after that, Clancy was taken to the bedroom where he had to escape from Marguerite, and once he did that, he ran into the cellar, which is where like that whole horde mode with Jack took place. And then after that, he got out of the house, but then was captured by Lucas, who made him play 21. And then, even though Clancy won that game, Lucas didn't let him go. Rather, he made him play the Happy Birthday game, and that is where Clancy met his end. So I guess that's the full timeline of our intrepid crew of sewer gators from the demo. That was a neat little VR thing. I mean, clearly it's not something that would have been meant for, selling to anyone because it's so short. But it's like it's kind of a neat little thing to just introduce someone to VR with. It's not really any interaction. The only interaction that thing had was me sitting up in my seat by pushing the DualShock forward. But I did have to actually sit up in my seat for Clancy to do the same. So that's not a bad little piece of interaction there. I mean, that probably would have been scarier if I hadn't played Resident Evil 7 and didn't already know what was going on and what this place was and who Mia was. If I didn't know anything about that, I'm sure that would have been a lot creepier. As it is, we are good friends with the Bakers, with Mia, and the house in general. But yeah, that's the kitchen, and that, I think, is going to be the last thing we see for Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I've enjoyed playing it a lot. I really like the game, even though in the main game, as I mentioned, the last act of the game kind of, not as good as the first. But for most of the DLC I did like, and overall I did enjoy the whole thing just in general. So I hope that you enjoyed watching me play it, and as far as I know, this is the end. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any more DLC or any more Resident Evil 7. So just in case there is not, I'll say thank you for watching this, because I enjoyed playing it. This has been Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.